Some big updates for the Texans as the Jets are interested in interviewing and potentially hiring one of our coaches, while Joe Mixon was fined for something that he didn't even say. Welcome to Texans Digest, where we're breaking down all the latest Texans news. It's officially our offseason. I know the Super Bowl has yet to happen, but we're looking into play what can the Texans do to get better next season. And unfortunately, we already have some bad news. If you would subscribe to the channel, that way we can let you know on all the latest Texans news. But Jerrod Johnson, the Texans quarterback coach, is a potential candidate for the offensive coordinator job with the Jets. Aaron Glenn just got hired, the former defensive coordinator for the Lions. He's looking for an offensive coordinator, and it's come down to his final three candidates, really. That would be Josh McCown, the Rams passing coordinator, as well as Jerrod Johnson. So Jerrod Johnson's been a pretty big factor of, involving and developing C.J. Stroud over the past couple years, and he's done a good job. The biggest thing is the way his coaching style is. He loves to talk and really about his coaching style, how he likes the players. They talk to him, they love him, they want to bring him in. So he could be a good fit for the Jets. I want those guys to know that I care, but also be vulnerable, honest. So he's a good human being, just somebody that the players can relate to. And looking at Jerrod Johnson, it is definitely a little bit of a controversy, but you have to bring it up. And I've seen many comments to where people wanted to fire Bobby Slowick and potentially bring in Jerrod Johnson for this season. Now, it's a little outrageous to say something like that when Bobby Slowick had such a successful season last year. But when you have multiple times where you're running it more often than you should, and kind of, no offense, forcing the run when it's not there, and there's a top 5 run defense that is stonewalling the run, don't continue to run it. So there was halfway through the season where people wanted to see Jerrod Johnson and Bobby Slowick kind of go co-offensive coordinators. And I didn't even think that was a bad idea. But you could see his value. And Jerrod Johnson probably will be the next head coach. He will probably be the next offensive coordinator for the Jets. It seems pretty likely now. We have not confirmed if he's going to go there or not. But it's definitely a slight loss for the players. You got to hire a new quarterback coach. I heard Case Keenum might be a decent hiring, former player. Who knows? But there's definitely some value with Jerrod Johnson. It's a little bit of a punch in the stomach, but I think they'll get through this tough time if he does get hired. Now, the biggest thing I would say about losing Jerrod Johnson is the fact that he's, again, a personable guy. And I'm not around the facility, but this is just what I'm hearing from all the other outside noise. And apparently he's a potential top candidate. So he's down to the top 3 selections. We have to very well consider and very well prepare ourselves to get a new a new quarterback coach that could potentially work with the offensive coordinator in Bobby Slowick if you want to. So if you want to incorporate him with the offense, and I think it's a good idea to maybe go get Ryan Day. Just to throw it out there, the quarterback connection from C.J. Stroud. Now, I don't think Ryan Day has any plans on leaving Ohio State. However, it wouldn't be a terrible idea if we reached out to Ryan Day, say, hey, you want to become our quarterback coach? Come reunite with C.J. Stroud? Maybe. I don't actually think so, but that would be pretty insane just to throw it out there. But there's so many different things that can happen in terms of gathering and getting a new quarterback coach. Again, I'm not too worried, but it has to be mentioned. So let me know your guys' thoughts on the Jerrod Johnson potentially going to be the offensive coordinator for the Jets. I know it's going to be it pretty much highlights what this Texans coaching staff has been able to do in 2 years with DeMeco Ryans and Bobby Slowick and all the guys on the staff. So I definitely think it's a good highlight for Jerrod Johnson. Now, Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about Joe Mixon, because this was incredible for what happened. Joe Mixon got fined $25,000 for something he didn't even say. And then he tried to follow up with it, and the league didn't let him. So initially, Mixon was fined $25,000 Wednesday for writing the following on social media. Why play the game if every 50-50 call goes the Chiefs' way? However, he didn't actually say that. That was T.J. Husmann-Jada, former NFL wide receiver. And then Joe Mixon pushed back. He said, okay, I didn't say that. And then they fined him another $25,000 fine. And they followed it up with comments that he did say. So I don't know why the NFL is doing this. And I go back to this comment because it's funny, because perhaps the NFL should worry about the actual officiating. But it's definitely a little bit of a struggle. It's just a little bit frustrating to be Joe Mixon. Looking at his agent, will definitely defend Joe and appeal the fine and explore everything else to rectify the action. This has to stop. What's next? The NFL fining Joe for Connor McDavid cross-checking in an NHL game. Basically, blasphemy, saying that he didn't do anything wrong. He did say a little bit much in terms of how he kind of pointed it towards the refs. He did say something about the refs, which, I mean, he did. So here's the thing. Joe Mixon did get fined for something he didn't say, which is honestly crazy that the NFL thought that he said something that he didn't. However, Joe Mixon actually did say, everybody knows how it is playing up here. You can never leave it into the ref's hands. And the only thing that he could probably get fined with is everybody know how it be playing up here. So I don't think that's it, to be honest, because it really is the most vague sentence ever. Like, how is the NFL going to fine someone for that? But, I mean, that's a quick breaking news that was earlier today, but I had to put it out there on Texans Digest for you guys. And Joe Mixon criticizing the NFL, rightfully so, for getting fined $25,000 for something he didn't say, and then trying to pursue legal action and then getting fined again. And then this time the NFL said, oh, no, you actually said this. But crazy stuff with our offensive coordinator, Jerrod Johnson, potentially leaving and going to the Jets. Joe Mixon getting fined for things he didn't even say. It almost looks like the NFL is trying to defend the officiating of the game, and I heard so much crazy things that they actually backed the officiating crew for the calls that they made, which is absolute blasphemy. I can't understand how you can just rectify the decisions that were made and just say, hey, yeah, we stand behind these and we agree. But, I mean, where's the accountability? Just respect the players. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, just read the Mixon quote right here. It's crazy. So hopefully they can get this settled out with all the fines and everything. It seems like everything's gonna settle. This seems like a court case that's just gonna drag on for a long time. At the end of it, I'm sure Joe Mixon is not going to care to pay the $50,000 because he has it. But at the same time, I understand his frustration to where you have to call out the NFL on this. It's not about the money. It's about, why are you fining me for something I didn't even say? It's basically the no fun league at this point. So NFL, no fun league. We've already established this. Yeah, the officiating was so bad. He did make a comment, but it really wasn't fine worthy. So the NFL is going to have to situate that. And let me know your thoughts. Again, Joe Mixon, great player for the Texans, going to be coming back next year. Texans hopefully going to make a lot of moves to try and pursue a wide receiver. Mixon is a huge part of the team that's going to try and recruit a couple players like T. Higgins, maybe Garrett Wilson in a potential trade. We will see in the offseason, but thank you guys so much for watching. Again, love to hear your thoughts and feedback in the comments on anything that's going on with the Texans. But until next time, we're going to get some offseason stuff figured out. It's going to be a long offseason, but I'm going to try and give you guys the latest scoop on what's happening in Texans